Hey, what's up, Virgo? Welcome to this Timeless General Tarot reading. As per usual, if you're not familiar with my reads yet, all typical disclaimers are assumed and all non-typical disclaimers are asserted. I am not responsible for you misusing the truth imparted by this reading to detriment in your own experience. You need to take this with a grain of salt and apply it to whatever situation is relevant to you. That being said, make sure you check the timestamps below if you would like to skip to the cards dropping in the reading. I don't find it very authentic to simply draw cards off the top and kind of BS about whatever emerges in that regard. I know it works for other readers. I think they're a little better at timing the shuffle. For me personally, I prefer getting a very clear message from Spirit that has nothing to do with myself simply hasting to a message. Therefore, sometimes it can take a bit for the cards to drop, depending on the read. Last week, your read was actually pretty quick, and the cards came out quite fast. So, if your patience is wearing thin and you'd like to skip to the actual drops, make sure you check the timestamps below. And that should save you a little bit of a headache if you are, like I said, running out of patience for listening to me blather on as I wait for cards to drop for you. So, with that being said, allow me to work out some cards for you here. So, alright. Great Goddess of the Earth, what kind of messages do you have for Virgo on this day? What does Virgo need to hear? What would you like Virgo to hear? What does Virgo need to hear from you? What exactly could Virgo be worked on in their life? What could they be challenged to do differently? What kind of things do you have for them? Well, Virgo, apparently there is not much to be said so far. So I definitely apologize. You definitely might need to check the timestamp, since this is the first reading in a few where it's been this slow, actually. A lot of the other reads have actually managed to get some cards flowing out for them. So I'm not sure. There's a little bit of stuck energy here. I'm not really seeing anything trying to pop out of the deck. It's very mercurial at the moment. So, and I'm not really thinking of any filler time, so I'm not thinking of any filler content to replace the void here. So I'm going to recommend that you check the timestamp below, and I'm simply going to continue shuffling until I get something for you. Okay, so you have this trying to come out. That's super mixed. Super mixed. Let's get something clear, Goddess, if you wouldn't mind. Great Goddess of the Earth. Something for Virgo, please. Nine, which I think you are actually 9. So interesting. Or you're the 9th. You're the 9th. Well, you're not technically not the 9th if you start with Aries. You're 9th if you start with Capricorn in January. So it was 9-9 there for you, though. Yeah, I'm not sure here. Maybe there's just nothing relevant for now. Okay, so disappointing. This is a sign of losing emotional fulfillment big time. And I don't know what is going to be causing that lack of emotional fulfillment, and this is just a very strong sign that you're going to lose your emotional fulfillment. It's a sign of heartbreak causing you to lose emotional stability, and more specifically even abuse your emotional stability. So this is really cliche, but the idea of this is like your partner breaks up with you, so then you take it out on yourself by like eating way too much food. Is essentially kind of what this is. It's like you're letting the painful emotions actually deter your ability to take care of yourself properly. It empowers your own self-destructiveness through this heartache. So that's disappointing. Not really what I want to see, but that is par for the course with how most of my readings are turning out. Most of my readings are turning out in this fashion where, you know, there's tough biscuits here most of the time in my reads. And I don't know why that is. I understand that the purpose of my reading channel is to actually help people overcome like travesties, and it's for helping them find happiness and stability. So I shouldn't be surprised when I am attracting people who are in negative situations, since that is my goal, to heal them. That is my goal, to help them. And it's definitely happening. There are plenty of my reads. It's literally like there's only been 2 reads where it hasn't had some kind of negative connotation for the viewer. But that is also my purpose here, which is to help you. So I suppose on the other hand, it does make perfect sense that I'm getting people of this energy. That's what my channel is for. I don't have just a blindly optimistic channel that only speaks to good and only focuses on good, because not everybody is only feeling good all the time. That's a vapid notion. It's not everybody is in that place right now. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. These 2 cards are pretty clear. You're allowing some kind of heartbreak to give you very toxic emotionality, and it's destroying your emotional abundance. And that's not the place you really want to be. And I don't know what this heartbreak is about. Okay, so interesting. Not only is this not only is your self-destructive emotionality going to be harming you, but it's also going to affect your ability to achieve things with others. It is going to overflow into perhaps your workplace, but it doesn't have to be your workplace, but wherever you are trying to accomplish some kind of material abundance with others. This heartbreak and this emotional self-destruction and this lack of abundance is going to overflow into that. So it's not even just that you are doing it to yourself, it's that it's going to deter other parts of your life too. Not just how you feel on the inside, but it's going to deter instances on the outside. Which matches up with the 9 of Wands on the end, which is the idea that you are finding yourself... You're finding yourself focused on the fact that you aren't where you want to be, and that is creating the situation where you are stuck exactly where you continue to place your focus, which is that you're stuck. It's a very atypical law of attraction notion. So it's a call to break out of that to a certain extent and rise above this energy. But what's very strange here is you have this King of Cups in the upright, like kind of mixed into all this. So the King of Cups is the complete opposite of This is weird, weird, weird. So if we take this King of Cups out of the mix, all of this makes perfect sense. But for some reason, you've got this King of Cups here in the middle. So it's almost as if somebody tries to help you, but they can't. Because the King of Cups is what you are called to become. You're called to embrace that balance in your emotionality. The problem is that it's not panning out for you. You aren't managing to get out of that state of being, and it's leading to a certain type of destitution. Let me scooch these over real quick. Like it's leading to a certain type of destitution. This Five of Pentacles here is kind of the results of this Three of Pentacles in reverse. Because you haven't managed to achieve this proper camaraderie in whatever this material progress is that you're trying to make, that leaves you in a position where you are finding yourself left alone, or not exactly left alone, but abandoned, sort of. But I don't want to say that even that as strongly. It's just like you're finding yourself alone after rubbing all of these people the wrong way, sort of, so to speak. You are finding the others that were required to achieve that material progress are essentially getting turned off by your lack of emotionality, by your toxic and negative emotions. And they only can endure that for so long. And this King of Cups, in order to preserve whomever this King of Cups is, in order to preserve their own internal stability of their emotionality, there is a good shot that they aren't going to keep themselves in your presence. So I don't know what this heartache is, but the fact that it drives your emotions into such toxicity is pointing towards the idea that it is going to, in fact, have repercussions in the form of you getting, like, there's going to be natural repercussions of people not wanting to waller with you in your despair. Especially somebody on the level of a King of Cups. They're a king because they aren't, and they're in the optimistic energy. So like it's not their prerogative to bring themselves down to suffer for others. They have too much internal, they value their own well-being too much to sacrifice their own well-being for the well-being of others. And because this energy is in the upright, that's not a toxic quality. The universe is comfortable with this person retaining the universe would rather have this person outflowing positive energy and you outflowing negative energy than both of you outflowing negative energy. The universe is always going to support this person leaving you behind if it keeps them in their optimism. The universe is always going to support that over you bringing them down to your level. You're never going to be validated in expecting other people to feel like shit like you do. And it's rubbing other people the wrong way quite a bit. It's disappointing because you have the opportunity for this King of Cups to be there for you, but this is signaling that they aren't going to tolerate it. And I wouldn't expect them to tolerate it. Nobody has to put up with you in comfortable toxicity just because you've got this wrong idea about like how the world is supposed to work or how the world is supposed to conform to you. So this is kind of disappointing because it's also showing here that with the Fool in reverse, it shows that you're reluctant to make any difference. It shows that you're reluctant to embrace the journey forward of rising above this, which insinuates to me that you are in a toxic cycle of sorts. Because, okay, so now we've got Two of Swords coming out here. Excuse me. Where would this be able to go from here? So to a certain extent, maybe before I said it like that, you were stuck in your ways, but after I said it like that, you actually might just take a step back and try to consider this. You might actually, maybe I got through to you just this much, and you will actually consider, like, essentially what's going on with this card is this person is taking a seat, they're stopping action, they're blindfolding themselves, and they're, to a certain extent, considering their inner world. And they're deliberating within themselves as to how to balance out certain qualities in your life. It's sort of a sign of refinement. They are essentially meditating on, and it's not saying that you literally have to meditate, but the idea is that this card is about, it's sort of signifying self-reflection. And it's signifying sort of finding an internal balance by challenging your own inner world. And that is exactly what I was calling you to do, was try not to drag your feet here on getting over whatever this mindset is that makes you feel validated in other people coming down to your level, which that's like a really cliche way to say it. I had a better way to say it, but it kind of slipped my mind. Like, there's like, you think for other people, you think, okay, so like, sort of what I'm getting here is like, for some reason, you've got the idea that other people show they care about you by feeling as shitty as you do. And that is so incorrect. It is so incorrect. And every time you try to do that, you lose people of this quality. You have these abrasions. And that's just going to continue leading to this heartbreak and this lack of emotional abundance and this destitution. Other people do not have to suffer like you to show you that they love you. Because why should they love you if you expect them to suffer for you? That's ridiculous behavior. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm proud of this King of Cups if they stand their ground and leave you behind. I'm proud of them. And the universe is proud of them. So I'm sorry about that. But this King of Cups is retaining their energy. They're not falling into your toxicity. These people aren't falling into your toxicity. That's why you're getting left. And the universe is suggesting that you are in the wrong here on this. You're going to keep getting this. You're going to keep running into this cycle until you actually can change that part about you. Until you can find a better way to you've got to adapt that. You've got to adapt yourself out of that mentalism. Other people don't have to suffer like you to show that they care about you. And in fact, that's very selfish because you are you're expecting them to suffer. You're expecting them to have a shittier experience to like match you. And that's like, and it should be the other way around. You should be matching them with a wholesome and good experience. Healthy spiritism is feeling good and proper emotional abundance, the things that motivate these people, the things that don't keep you left out in the cold. the things that make this king worthy are wholesome and positive vibrance, not getting trapped in this negativism. And the universe is agreeing with that fact here. And it's a good sign here that it's suggesting that, well, I don't know if it's a good sign, I don't know. Some people are just so comfortable in their ways, and maybe that's you. Maybe you're comfortable hurting like this. I can't imagine it. But maybe that's what's going on. It is just some people's prerogative, like at the end of the day, but I can't exactly imagine that because this sign of heartache would signify that you're not comfortable with this. So maybe you just are stuck in this notion, which is part of what is being suggested here, that if you can really take a step back and consider your own inner world, there is an option here for you to try something new. And you're being called to try something new and embrace a different journey. And that can help you kind of dislodge out of this energy. And that'll help your emotional abundance. It will help your ability to achieve properly with others, and it will keep you from feeling like people are abandoning you to such a degree. That's the bottom line here of this. Because you probably want this King of Cups in your life. This person, has a way of uplifting others to such a degree. But they can't uplift somebody who is impossibly negative and who is locked in feeling validated that the way of the world is to feel negative, or that who you are is this negativity. So you're going to have to make a choice about what means more to you, feeling good or being right. As one of my favorite philosophers of all time says, it is impossible to be right and be miserable. How are you correct yet miserable? That's not the purpose of being correct. That's not the purpose of doing the right thing. The right thing isn't to feel like crap. The right thing is to increase your quality of living. So, yeah, I mean, this is about as clear to me as, this is basically as clear to me as it's going to get. This is where you've got to make the difference to some degree. This is what you're being called to do. Really consider what's more important to you. Being right or being happy. And if you can do that, things can turn around for you. Which is interesting because in the last Virgo reading, and look at that. You have the Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, and Three of Swords here. Take this initiative to change this thing about you. Don't take up the universe insists that you grow, because growing is how you don't stay the same, and the universe can't stand you staying the same because that's boring for it. It needs the novelty. It needs the difference made. So when you stagnate and stay the same, the universe loses interest in you. The Great Spirit loses interest in you because you have lost your ability to apply new life to the world. So the idea that you can just be you and never change is not backed up by universal quality. Universal quality has it built into the cake that if you do not choose to change and grow in ways that are constructive and powerful for you, you are going to suffer for it. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here for you. So I feel like I've gotten to a good point where I can end this reading for you. It's very clear what's going on here to me. And universe is even imploring you to make the difference. And it's not suggesting that you're necessarily going to struggle either with that. with that difference made. Your struggle is if you don't try to listen to what I'm suggesting. If you can hear what I'm saying, there is potential for you to adapt that part of you, and that is going to give you the ability to have a fresh new start in finding your emotional abundance. And if this King of Cups kind of energy matters to you, that's exactly what you're going to be looking for. That's why it hurts so much whenever you are disappointed by these people. And that's why it feels so confusing. And that's why it can make you so self-destructive. So that's what I got for you here. Take this initiative, make this difference. And leave behind these old ways that take away your ability to have your most fulfilled life possible. I really hope that you can make that difference. I really want to see you feel good and feel proper and feel fulfilled. I hate seeing people stuck here. It's not great. And you do not want to lose people like this. But if you want this energy to take care of you, you have to take care of it. Not expect it to suffer with you. So, that's what I got for you, Virgo. Good luck. You can do it. Make this difference. All right? Good luck. See you later.